Alright guys, let me start today by asking a question. If you are thinking of doing a project, okay, the project might be a residential building, a commercial building, let's say a hospital, any office. Do you know the exact process of how all these steps involved come together? Do you know how you should start, which parties are involved first and which parties are involved later? And do you know the rules and responsibilities of each party involved, what they should be doing and what they should be delivering so that your project comes together? So building something from scratch can be pretty complex process, and this might be the first time that you are encountering it. You might be the client, you might be the consultant that is just starting, and if you do not know these process, then it might be a little bit complex for you. So I'll explain the pre-construction phase of the project today. So basically, what do you mean by the pre-construction? So this is where someone wants to start the project. He might be the client, right? And this is I'm just drawing the timeline, and this is where the construction starts. So the construction starts here. Construction starts, right? And the construction happens and the project finishes. Project completes. Project completion time. And whatever you do before the construction starts, whatever you do from this stage where you think about doing it or someone else thinks about doing it, this entire phase we call as the pre-construction phase. Okay, now you know what is pre-construction and what is construction. We call this as the construction phase, we call this as the pre-construction phase. And in today's video we will be discussing about this pre-construction phase. And for this I'll be taking this building over here as my example building. I'll call this as a example building. Okay, all right. So this is the 3D view. We call this type of photograph, I'll say, or the view as the 3D view. It's a three-dimensional view. And so the 3D view doesn't come in the first. I'm just showing this view so that you have the concept of what actually you are trying to achieve. This is just for your concept only. This 3D view is actually made at the last. Once all the floor plans and the elevations are locked, then the 3D view is generated. So you can see that this building has got this we call as the ground floor, and this we call as the first floor, this we call as the second floor, and this over here we call as the third floor, and this is the final, this is my roof, right? So this is my ground floor, first floor, second floor, third floor, and the roof. So these many floors we have, and you can also see the elevation. You can see how the windows are placed. So this is, you can see the balcony as well, and you can see how the elevation looks. Over here you can see the brick wall plastered and painted, and on the other side you can see the brick wall. So it's a fair face brick, it's not a regular brick. And over here you can see some decorative wall cladding, right? As I have said, you do not make this picture or this 3D drawing in the beginning. You make it at the last, once all the drawings are finalized. So where we make it, at which stage, we'll see that as well. The first thing what you do is you make the preliminary drawings. You make the preliminary drawings, okay? Preliminary drawings you make. And what do you mean by the preliminary drawings? So this is the first stage of the pre-construction. So this is what we call as the stage one. Stage one I'll call it, because we have other stages coming, and so that you could remember this thing. Okay, so this is the first stage. You make the preliminary drawings, and how you do that is, in the beginning of this stage you sit with the client. Let's say that you are a consultant and you sit with the client, and if you are the client then you sit with the consultant. And in this video I'll discuss from the consultant's perspective, and if you are a client then the similar steps are followed. Okay, so you sit with the client and you understand their vision, what they actually want and what is the space they have. And they will also show the plot area that they have. They might take you to the site, they might show you on the paper. And once you have that area, now you need to understand how you can fill the requirements of the client. Okay, so it's not that whatever the client wants can be done. There are rules and regulations. So rules and regulations, what we call as the bylaws as well from the municipality. So you need to have the clear understanding of these rules and regulations. Once you get the plot area, then the first thing that you need to do is, if this is a big plot, let's say hectares and hectares of the land, and there are a lot of levels involved, the terrain is not regular, it's not a flat terrain, then you need to do the survey. The first thing that you have to do is that you have to do the survey. Then you have the idea about the land area, right? So how is it? Okay, what are the levels involved? And if it's a small site like this one, this is a very small site, and then in that case, if it's a flat land, then you don't need any survey. You can start doing the preliminary drawings. So once you have this plot area, you can see over here, this is my, you can see that from this one, this is my site area, and on this you have to place the building. And you cannot place the building as you want. There are certain rules and regulations that you have to follow. There are certain setbacks that you need to follow. There is FAR requirement that you have to meet. Then there is ground coverage ratio that you have to meet. And also there might be restrictions on the number of stories, right? So you have to meet that as well. So if the area is near to the, let's say, airport, then the number of stories might be restricted, though you are fulfilling these two requirements. And also you have to see other bylaws that are followed in your region. So once you have all these things, then you can put the preliminary shape of the building, and that we call as the site plan. You can see that this is our proposed building outline over here. So there is a setback line, and the setback line is normally taken from the center of the road. So this is my access road, okay, and from the center of this access road there is certain setback that you have to follow, and after that only you can put your building. And after you have this FAR and GCR, you know the area of your building, and that you put over here. So this is my site plan, you can see. So the site plan is basically your building placed on your plot line and how it looks like, and this is how it looks like. So this is my first preliminary drawing, that is my site plan. So once I have all these things in place, the next thing that needs to be done is that you have to prepare the floor plan. So you need to discuss with the client what he actually needs, and based on his requirement you have to make the floor plans. And over here you can see that this is my ground floor plan, and in the ground floor plan the designer that designed this building has placed the living room. Okay, so this is my entrance over here. So this must be the parking area, and so this is the main entrance. This is the main entrance, and when you enter you get the living room. Then there is a bedroom here, then there is a bedroom here, and with the living room there is a kitchen and the dining, and there is a toilet, the common toilet for this floor, and there is this staircase that leads to the upper floors. Okay, there are two things that determine these things. So one is, if your client follows Vastu, then you have to ensure where to put these things. So where to put the bedroom, where to put the living room, where to put the kitchen, and you must know the Vastu of the plot as well. Also the requirement, what client actually wants. Let's say that a client wants a big living room, then you might need to combine these two as the living room. Or let's say that the client doesn't want the kitchen and the dining in the ground floor, he wants in the top floor, as an example. Then what you can do is that you can make this whole space as one living room. And let's say that the client doesn't want any bedroom, then you can make whole this space as living room and the kitchen room. So these things you have to discuss with the client what he wants, and accordingly you have to suggest him what is the best possible solution to his requirement. So once you do all these things, you prepare the floor plan of each floor, not only the ground floor, for the each floor, first floor, second floor, and the third floor. And you also prepare the elevations. Okay, so here I have only shown the floor plan, and you also prepare the elevations. And after you are done with this, what you do is you do the preliminary cost estimation. So this is our preliminary cost estimation. Okay, cost estimation. Based on the floor plans, the preliminary floor plans that you have prepared, you can get the area of each floor. For example, the ground floor plan, the area is 86.31 square meter, right? Similarly, first floor plan area is this much, second floor area is this much, third floor area is this much, and the total area is 326.67 square meter. And you can also get this in the square feet as well by multiplying with 10.76. You know this factor. So once we have all this area, then based on this area, using thumb rule, you can get the total cost. For example, here the cost of the civil works, foundation and the structural works, they are done at 2,250 rupees. So this is Nepali rupees per square feet. Okay, that's, you have got the total square feet area over here. You multiply this with 2,250, then you get this value. Similarly, finishing works. So after the structure is done, the finishing work, the brickwork, plastering, painting, doors and windows, and the flooring works, that also you do at 2,250. These rates are just taken for the example, just for the estimation, and they can vary based on the contractor, based on the location, and based on the client as well. If you need a very lavish finishing, let's say, then this rate might not be sufficient. You might need more. And if you do not need very lavish finishing, you just need a moderate or an average finishing, then this rate might be high. This rate, if you know, if you have already done the project, then you can place that rate and get the total cost over here, the cost of civil work. But if you do not know it, then you can take the help from the local contractor that has been doing these works, and he will give you the per square feet rate. So this is for the estimation purpose only. During the construction, you prepare the BOQ and things, and based on the BOQ and the rate of each item, you get the total cost estimate, and you do the total billing as well. So the cost of services, so electric works at the rate 20%. If the cost of civil work is very high, then this percentage gets lower and lower. And sanitary and plumbing works at the rate 10%. And the total cost comes as this one. So you add up these two values and get the total as this. And after that, VAT 13%, and the grand total, you get this value. So this is how you do the preliminary cost estimation. So once the client gets the cost estimate, now he knows whether this project is in his budget or not. If it's in his budget, then he will proceed with the project. If not, maybe he will try to reduce the area, reduce the number of floors, whatever his requirements, that you two have to discuss and come to the conclusion. So this is the completion of the stage 1, where you prepare the preliminary design and do the preliminary cost estimate. After the completion of the stage 1, that is the preliminary drawings, so you completed the drawings, then you show them to the client, and the client might make some changes or might approve the drawings that you have submitted. And after the submission, after the approval is done or the required changes have been done, then you prepare the final architectural drawings. So you do only after the approval of the preliminary drawings, and the final architectural drawings are based on the preliminary drawings. So here I have shown the preliminary drawings side by side with the final architectural drawing. So this over here is my preliminary drawing, and this is my final, okay, final architectural drawing. So you can see the changes that have been made from preliminary to the final. So I'll show you the 3D first so that you have the visualization. Otherwise you make the 3D at the end. Okay, so you can see that the facade have been completely changed. Here the facade looks like this, and on this picture, on the final architectural drawing, the facade looks like this. Okay, so they have changed this toughened glass or the glass railing to the more traditional railing. Okay, and they want this fair face architecture on their entire structure. And also you can see how they have changed the windshields as well. The overall facade has been changed. This look over here has been changed to this one, and this look over here has been changed to this one. you can see the changes that have been made. In this way, the final drawings, they more or less look like the preliminary drawings, but there might be minor changes. So it's not necessary that there should be changes, but there are chances that the changes will be there. Okay, now let's see the floor plans and how the floor plans are changed. So this is my same ground floor plan that I showed you in the previous video. So ground floor plan, and here also we have got the ground floor plan, and that's of the final architectural drawing. Okay, and if you see, the changes are not much significant. There have been slight changes, like for example in the preliminary drawing, if you see in this region, then it's just plain staircase. Okay, so this is the main entrance gate, this is the main entrance door, and this is the staircase to the upper floor. And if you see over here on the final architectural drawing, then you can see that from the living room there has been a powder room developed at this position. So what is a powder room? So powder room basically is a small space consisting of let's say commode and wash basin, and it's like a mini washroom area, okay, without any shower. So why the client chose to give a powder room over here? Because you see that for this entire floor the toilet space is at this location, and if some guest comes and wants to use the washroom, then it's not good for him to travel all the way and go to the toilet. Okay, so for that reason, so that there is a privacy and the guest will not see this entire space here and will not see the bedroom spaces, so the client decided to give a small powder room over here. So this staircase goes up and there is a landing space over here, and below the landing space this powder room has been given. And also there is a pump room at this location, and other things are more or less the same. The position of the bed, the size of the room, the size of the kitchen, the position, the partition, everything else stays the same. One more change that has been given is that a laundry space has been added over here to put the washing machine at this place, and the void stays the same at this location. So why the void has been given? So that the pipelines could be distributed in the floor, because there is a bathroom here, there is a kitchen here, and also the windows could be provided at these two positions. So you understand the difference between the preliminary drawing to the final architectural drawing. So there could be minor changes, and I would like to tell you that this drawing, we call this as the presentation drawing. Okay, presentation drawing, and this is not the working drawing, or this is not a drawing that you give at the site. Normal working drawing, so it will not have these colors, it will only have the lines. So it will show the position of the beds, the dining table, the size of the room. It will have the dimensions, all the dimensions of the window, the dimensions of the columns, everything will be given. So this is a simple version, and this is for showing to the client. Okay, so for the understanding of the client, the contrast is there. You can see the wall properly over here, and you can see the windows properly over here. You can see the floors, you can see the beds. So the contrast is over there. In the construction drawings there are simply lines, and as a technical person it's easy for you to understand, but as a non-technical person it might be a bit difficult just to understand those lines. That is why these presentation drawings are prepared. Okay, so once you lock all the architectural drawings, then you prepare the elevation, and I would like to show you the elevation. Okay, so this east elevation, now you can see that it has been changed to this. Okay, the entire facade has been changed. As I explained earlier, the component is no more there, and we got normal windows here and the shades. So this house the client has prepared in a very traditional manner, not in a modern or the contemporary manner. As I've said, this is my final drawing and this is just my preliminary drawing. With the architectural drawing, what you do, you prepare the site plan, you finalize them, you prepare the site plan, right? And after that you prepare the floor plans, and then you prepare the elevations and the sections. So you have to draw a section that goes from the staircase, and if needed you have to draw multiple sections. So it depends on the complexity of the building. And also in this architectural plan, you can see a basic furniture layout. So normally what people do is that if the budget is low, the basic furniture drawings are made within the architectural drawing, and if the budget is high, a separate interior drawings are prepared, okay, for all the, let's say, how the ceiling will look, how the walls will look, how the floor will look, and how each furniture will be designed, and how each furniture will sit in the room or in the space allocated for it. And after that, you also prepare the final 3Ds. And all these things you present to the client and get the approval. And once he approves all these things, then you can move forward with the third stage. So now let's move to our third stage, that is the construction drawings. So what we have done up to the second stage is that we have done the preliminary drawings, we have finalized the architectural drawing. Now the next thing that we have to do is we have to do the structural drawing. Then we also need to do the electrical drawings, and we have to do the sanitary drawings. Okay. And also, if necessary, then you also need to prepare HVAC, that is for the AC, heating, ventilation drawings as well. Here I have shown you a basic snapshot of the structural drawing. So you have done the architectural drawing, that is the basic outlook of the building, and to give the building strength, you need to prepare the structural drawing. So structural drawing will basically consist of the design of the structural members. So by design of the structural members, we mean, so structural member basically include, let's say, beam, column, slab, let's say shear wall, staircase, etc, right? So these we call as the structural members because they take the load, right, and they transfer the load finally to the earth. So the structural drawing will give you the size of the beam at each location, and also the reinforcement. Same goes for the column, size of the column, and also the reinforcement. Same goes for the slab, thickness of the slab, and the reinforcement for the shear wall as well, and also for the staircase. So as an example, I'll show you how the column design or the detail is provided. So this is my architectural drawing, and from here you prepare the column layout plan. So the columns have been placed similar as in the architectural drawing. So once the architectural drawings are completed, these drawings are given to the structural designer. The structural designer will put the model in the structural designing software such as ETABS, STAAD Pro, SAP 2000, Tekla Structure, or can be other structural software as well. Once the model has been prepared, the designer will then apply the loads, and after that he will analyze the structure and then design the structure, and after designing he will draft the drawings. So this is how the drawings will look like. So you can see the columns here, the identical columns. So this is my grid 1 2 3 4, and here also 1 2 3 4, and also the numeric, also the alphabetic grid as well. So what the designer has done is that he has named all these columns. For example, this column has been named C1, this column has been named C2, this is also C2, this is C4, and this is C3. So why he has done this? Let me show you this table over here. So you can see that here the details of the column has been given. So C1 column, the size of the C1 column is 350 by 350 mm. Okay, and on the ground floor the size stays the same. The size throughout the structure stays the same from ground floor to the top floor. You cannot reduce the size of the column, so that is very difficult to do the construction. What you can do is that you can reduce the size or the quantity of the reinforcement in the upper floors because there is not much load in the upper floors, right? So on the ground floor, 4 5 20 means that you have to provide 4 numbers of 20 mm bar and 4 numbers of 16 mm bar. So 20 mm bars you put at the corners like this, and 16 mm bars you put at the mid. Okay, and then you also put the stirrups like this and also like this. Okay, so lateral ties it has given 5 8, that is 8 mm at the rate 4" that is 100 center to center. In the end region h by 6, and in the mid region in the h by 3 you have to put it at the 6 inches. So you have to put far apart in the mid, and in the end you have to put near. Okay, so I cannot explain all the details over here because the video will be lengthy, and this is not the purpose of this video. And you can see on the top floor you only need 8 5 16 bars, 8 16 bars, right? So this is the basic concept of the structural drawing. So you put this type of column at this location. Only C1 is over here, and I do not see any other C1. Then you see C2 at these two locations, means that these two columns are identical. Similarly, C6 you can find here and here, means that these two columns are identical, and you can find the details within the structural drawing. So once the structural drawing is prepared, then parallel you can do it. You also need to prepare the electrical drawings. So the electrical drawings will give you a lot of information. So electrical drawings will give you information such as the size of the wire, distribution of electricity, right? So where the electrical room will be placed, where the main distribution board will be placed, where the floor distribution board will be placed, and it will also give you power socket plan, right? Power socket plan. It will also give you switch plan. So where the switch should be placed, how the switch should be placed, and it will also give you lightning plan as well. So here I have given the lightning plan. You can see this is L1 written and this is L1 written. So these two are light bulbs, means that in the kitchen room you have to give these two light bulbs here, and there is one main light bulb over here, chandelier, CH1, it means the chandelier. And also, you know, the small light bulbs, they are provided like this at the corners. Okay, you can find this detail, you know, what these symbols actually mean in the legend. So legends will also be provided. So this is my ground floor lightning plan. And also after the electrical drawings, the next drawings that you need to prepare is the sanitary drawings. So the sanitary drawings will give the details about the pipeline. So pipeline, how the water should be supplied, inlet pipeline, it means how the water should be supplied, and how the wastewater should be taken out of the house, and also how the rainwater should be handled. We call it the storm water as well. So in this drawing you can see the water supply line, and here as an example, if you see at this position, okay, so it means that you need to provide 20 hot water pipeline, 20 fresh water pipeline, and 20 cold water pipeline. So you have to provide 3 pipelines here. So this red line indicates hot water and this blue line indicates cold water pipeline. Okay, so here the legends have been given, cold water and also the hot water. And for the flush, it has been given separately like this. And also to the kitchen you have to provide 20 cold water pipeline like this, right? So this is my shower area, this is my sink, this is my commode, and how the water is supplied in this bathroom and the kitchen, the details are given. And also the details of the outlet has also been given here. For example, you have to provide 110 pipe for rainwater, okay, and for the cold water and fresh water I have already discussed. And also for the soil, that is for the commode, you have to provide 110 pipeline. So these more details are given. This is just an example that I have showed you over here. Okay, so once the construction drawings are prepared, so you have prepared the architectural drawing, you have prepared the structural drawing, you have prepared the electrical, you have prepared the sanitary drawings. All these drawings you compile them, and with the structural report and whatever the requirements are needed by the municipality, you prepare them. You might also need to write a letter and fill the different forms, and after that you submit to the municipality and get the approval from the municipality as well. And those same drawings we call as the municipal drawings. So they are not different drawings, they are the same drawings with minor changes or adjustments made for the municipality. So after all these drawings have been finalized, what you do is that you prepare the tender and the contract documents. So first you prepare the tender documents. Tender documents, you have got the tender drawings. Okay, tender drawings, same. And you prepare the BOQ, the blank BOQ you give out, and you take the quotations from the different contractors. Okay, so there might be contractor C1, contractor C2, contractor C3. You give out to all these people. So once you get the quotation, and based on the quotation you evaluate them and select the best contractor. So it is not necessary that the lowest bidder might be the best contractor. You have to do the analysis or the evaluation. So once you are done, you have, let's say, selected the C2 contractor. After that, you prepare the contract documents. So with the contract documents, you have the same working drawings. We call it, let's say, working drawings. Okay, so GFC drawings, good for construction drawings. You have got the final BOQ, the signed BOQ where the rates have been placed. Then you got the specs. Then you got the conditions of the contract, right? So there might be general conditions, there might be special conditions. Okay, so with all these, you sign the contract, you give the LOA, letter of acceptance, to contractor C2, and the contractor C2 mobilizes at the site and starts the construction. And when the contractor C2 is doing the construction, your job as a consultant is to ensure that the contractor C2 is doing the work properly, as per the designs, as per the drawings, as per the BOQ, as per the specifications, and as per the contract. To ensure this, we call this as the construction supervision, and you as a consultant, it's your duty to do it, and it might be included in the contract with the client, your contract with the client, or might not be. If the contractor, let's say, wants a separate team, the project management team, to do the construction supervision, then it's fine. But normally whoever designs or does the design also does the supervision, because he knows the design very well. And also you need to supervise, or you need to assist the client in the construction. So it's not that all the drawings are ready and the contractor can do the design, can do the work without any issue. So there will be a lot of issues coming at the site, a lot of support will be needed by the contractor, a lot of decisions will be needed by the contractor, because 100% the site is not as per the plan. Okay, so there are a lot of changes happening here and there. During the project itself, the client does a lot of changes, and it's your duty to adopt or not to adopt those drawings or those changes in the drawings. Alright guys, so that's the process. Designing and building a project takes time, patience, and a lot of coordination, but with the right team and clear drawings, it's absolutely achievable. Okay guys, so this much for this video, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it.